You're watching It's Life Live with your hosts, Juan Lee and Oliver Marcel. Come join us for enriching, enlightening, encouraging, and thought-provoking conversation. Let's go.
Well, hello all. Hey, we're going to be live as you want us to be, but we're not live yet. We're still in that transitional thing, so just bear with us. We're in the process of putting it all together, but we adding a little bit. We just carrying it all to putting it all together right now. So thank you back. Welcome back to It's Life. This is presented by Clear Journey, and Clear Journey is a nonprofit that supports individuals that are looking and seeking for answers for life's challenges. We provide you the mindset, the love mindset that allows you to navigate life more successfully in all that you do. We bring on experts in various areas of life so as to help you navigate life so that you can reach your full potential. I'm the founder of Clear Journey, and if you want to learn more about Clear Journey, you can go over to clearjourney.org and learn more about what we do over there. So again, if this is your first time, we appreciate you. If you hear something that you enjoy, you like, by all means, hit the subscribe button and the like button and become a part of our community. We really would appreciate that. And if you're coming back, welcome, 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 welcome. Hopefully we'll have something here that can enlighten you, encourage you, to be able to live a more fulfilling life. I am the author of a book called Love Made Simple, The Guide to Inner Peace, Contentment, and Success. It's basically the foundation of Clear Journey. It really talks about the love mindset philosophy that we talk about here at Clear Journey. And if you would like to help support us, we really would appreciate that if you would pick up a copy of that. It's on Audible, it's an ebook, and it's a hardback copy. You can get it on Amazon. It really would help us if you would pick up a copy of that. But by all means, if you want to also support us, you can also go over to clearjourney.org, and where we have, you can donate whatever you would like over there. We really appreciate that. One of the things that Clear Journey is all about, and we feel that it's a foundation of what we do, and we have an ebook that we would like you to have, and it's absolutely free if you go over to the over to our website and pick it up. It's called Budgeting Made Simple: The Guide to Taking Charge of Your Money. We believe at Clear Journey that managing your money is the root and the cause and the key to being able to reach your goals in life. And so one of the very important areas that we want to support you on is finances, and being able to manage your finances. So we want you to have this ebook. By all means, go over there, pick it up. There's nothing, no charge. Just let us know you want it and we'll send it to you. So we want you to be very well equipped really about your money. Are the other areas that we talk about primarily are relationships and health and wellness. And so we want you to be well-rounded, balanced in this approach as you navigate life more successfully. As you know, I'm here, like I said, we're gonna be rolling by myself tonight doing an interview because Oliver is not feeling well today. So we're here alone with our guests. So by all means, feel free to drop any comments or things that you want in the comments. Feel free to reach out to us in any way on any of the platforms, but we by all means would really like for you to join our YouTube channel. And our YouTube channel is right here. It's at Clear Journey Inc. is where you can find us. And so by all means, go over there. We have a boatload of videos over there that are covered in so many different areas. So with the right mindset, how to navigate them more successfully. So we have a guest tonight, and our guest, let me tell you a little bit about our guest. Our guest is a transformational strategist and founder of Innovational Verizon LLC. She shares her journey on empowering leaders and high performers to thrive in their lives and leaving a lasting legacy. Let me introduce you to Yvonne Lorraine. Hey, Yvonne. As soon as I hit my button here, I find you. Hey, there you go.
Hello, dear one.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you for being here. I'm telling you, I've got all these hats on. They're falling off. I'm trying to grab them all at the same time and put them all here. So
Right.
I appreciate you being with us this evening. I thank you very much. Tell the people a little bit more about you. I just scratched the surface, and I think since we've even met or we talked previously about this interview, it's a lot of things you got going on. But just let the people know who you are and where you're from, and list what you want to tell them.
Sounds great. Thank you again, Juan, for having me here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And like he shared, my name is Yvonne Lorraine, and I am the founder of Innovative Visions, which is my business where we provide executive leadership and coaching for our leaders. And I'm also the founder of a nonprofit by the name of Life Changing Community Development Corporation. And we provide programs and activities for the youth and families of low income communities. So I am just really excited about being here. Far as what I do, far as who I am a transformational strategist. And you might say, well, what is that? Well, everything that I do is all about transforming lives. And that comes with every program that I have. Everything that we offer is always to do something that's going to help transform lives. And we talk about our leaders, to help our leaders to be great, to become greater, and to know what it is to operate at their highest potential. And that's the ultimate goal in all that I do.
Yeah. I mean, that again, the synergy there is phenomenal, because that's basically in a nutshell what Clear Journey is all about. It's basically having the right mindset to reach your full potential. That means strive for your very best and your highest heights with the right mindset. And I think if people will know and realize by listening to you tonight is that that's exactly what you're doing. You're helping people reach their full potential, but you're really helping them, you're navigating them in a way in which they can see things that they haven't seen before. And so that's really in line with what we do. So let me ask you a question. What inspired you to take on this role? How long have you been doing it, and what inspired you to do it?
Well, I really believe that it's just been in me probably since a little child, one, because I've just always wanted to help people. I was always on the team for the underdogs, so it didn't matter. I just wanted to be able to help. You said you had a goal, then I'm your person who's going to help you to reach that goal. So that was before I understood anything about entrepreneurship. It was like a long learning curve for me to be able to understand the difference of, something that you just do and it comes natural, and being able to learn how to actually monetize that type of gift. That was a little challenging for me, but I've just always want to see people to be the best of whatever they can be. That's been my goal in my life. So I'm that person that if you say you want something done and you believe it can happen too, it's going to get done.
Well, I tell you, you ain't the only one. How long have you been doing it? Because I tell you, I've been on this journey and this clear journey for about 3 years. And I understand the passion leads the understanding of how to get it done.
Yes.
So how long have you actually been doing the businesses aspects of it?
So with Innovative Visions, with the coaching and training, I've been actively doing that now for almost 3 years. Mm-hmm. And with the nonprofit, working in the community and with those leaders, it's been over 30 years.
Okay. All right. So look, hey, you got some insight and understanding that I could always be able to learn from. I've been on this journey just 3 years now, and yet it's evolving. It's evolving in so many ways. I mean, this nonprofit space is something
It's amazing.
interesting.
Yes, it is
Something
amazing. And it is a journey, that's for sure. It is a journey.
got to keep it in perspective. I mean, right, the moment is what you get to work on, and as you put them together, it establishes that journey that we're on.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about. You said your innovative vision. That's what exactly that is. That the teaching or the coaching aspect?
Yes, so this is where I do the coaching and trainings, and my audience are high performers. So a lot of times, well, somebody might wonder, well, what is a high performer? Well, according to what I do and the people that I work with, these are those people who are purpose driven, they're resilient, and they want to do the things that they are striving to do, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they are leaders in the community or elected officials, whatever the case might be. And some people are, they work, they have their careers, but they're still high performers also. So I don't deal with people that ain't ready to do the work.
Well, I like the way you define that, because a lot of people misunderstand what high performance is. Because, excuse me, in many cases they think of high performance as executives and things like that. But as you put it, I like the way you just put that, is people that are motivated. People
Yes.
that are motivated are wanting to make a change. Because again, some of the things that the people that we're interested in are people that are willing to do the work as you're talking about. Because um, I can't force you to do any of this stuff. You
Right.
got to want to do it, in the sense of understanding the value is on the back end of it, not on the front end.
Right.
And,
Right.
and so you've got to be at a point where you like to say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I want to give you an alternative to being sick and tired.
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
so I can relate to that. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Um, so when you say that, that is a very interesting, because as you said, everybody is not willing to do the work. How have you identified, have you run across, how have you identified those that are willing to do the work and those aren't willing to do the work, without wasting your time with those that aren't?
Yeah. Well, I think I've been really fortunate with the people that I've been working with, Juan, and I think it's because of maybe how my message goes out. And basically, like you said, when people come to me, they are either really desperate and wanting to make change, or they know that they need to make that change. And probably because that's how I put it out there too. So I tell them, if you're ready to do the work, so what I do, I said, we dig deep, but you got to do the work. So long as they're willing and ready to do that work, and a lot of times the work begins with their mindset. And when I'm saying digging deep, we going back to childhood traumas, things that people have dealt with or not dealt with that's impacting them today as adults. So and that's not an easy place, and people have to be ready to go that deep in order to come back.
That's really one of the overwhelming things that I've come in contact with, is that it's this journey. In many ways, we can't move forward until we clear out some stuff in the past.
Yes.
And so you're exactly to a lot of people that I would like to refer people to, in the sense that, because you're going to help them do the work.
Yes.
You're going to help them do the work, because I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna turn a light on it. But at the same time, I'm gonna tell you, so you got to go get that fixed, because it's hindering you from being able to move forward. Some of the things that I talk about in the love mindset, the ability to be able to activate and to manage that, has to do with being able to be clear in who you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know who you are, you ain't into sacrificing when you don't know who you are.
Yes. Self-awareness is everything.
Absolutely. But at the same time, sacrifice is essential for being able to get you through that journey, to understand that, look, and humility, hey, I need some help.
Yes.
I need some help. And if you're
Yes.
too prideful to say I need help, you're gonna be spinning your wheels and they're stuck in I don't know where. And so that's very essential, very important. So let me ask you a question. What are some of the key qualities of effective leaders, and how can they cultivate these clearly, these types of qualities?
So I'm sharing from my point of view about these leaders, Juan. So number one for me is definitely to be a faith-driven leader. And I'm going to, as I go through, I'm just going to share my why for those.
Okay.
So even in that space, and being a leader, again, it doesn't matter in what position you may be leading, but to know that, one, you've been called to do this is one thing, but then to allow God to lead you so that you can know that you're operating in a space of wisdom. And to be honest with you, Juan, it takes some of the pressure off, because when you're actually doing leadership and you're providing the leadership that you feel led to do, you have somebody to always go back to when things are not going the way that it should, or if you don't know the answer to something. Because I know for myself, I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs and people in leadership positions. So most of this has either been part of my journey in my life, just understanding what leadership should look like, and knowing what bad leadership has looked like as well. So
Yeah, that's an oxymoron there, by the way. Bad leadership. If it's bad, it ain't leadership. But yeah.
Right. So so understanding that it was okay to not know everything as a leader. I had to be okay with that and learn that, I can come back with the answer. And sometimes it basically is because it's been a faith walk for me personally in both businesses. The other thing is being able to be clear about your purpose and your vision. Because if you're going to lead others, you need to be very clear about what direction you're going, and to make sure that you're leading people in the right direction according to whatever that mission may be, whatever that plan or the goal may be. So being able to do that is very important, as well as we talked about it a few moments ago about your self-awareness. A great leader really needs to be aware, and aware emotionally. A lot of times, as leaders put on this, this hardness, or can put on a hardness, or feel like they have to be, you do have to be in your role as a leader, but you also have to make sure that emotionally that you can touch your people, understand your people, and first understand self. Because with the self-awareness part, when you're not, then it's easier to be intimidated by those who you're supposed to be leading. So in order to not fall in down that hole, self-awareness definitely helps in that case as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
got more? You got more of them? You got more? Give me a couple more qualities then.
Okay. Being empathetic and authentic, especially now. I mean, you just can't lead. If you're going to be a great leader, people want to see authenticity. They want to know that it's the real you, and that what they see is what they really get. They want to know that the leader, that you as a leader, that you're going to be listening to them, and that you're going to support them and support them in their growth as well. So being able to be empathetic and hearing your team members, people just want to know that you care. They'll do the work, but they want to know that that the person that's leading also cares. That's very important to people. And the last thing I mentioned is about empowering others and delegating. Great leaders also empower the people that are with them. And in some ways, sometimes that may require the training. It may require you just delegating some of those tasks to those people to help them to realize, this is where we get to help them to see how great they are in other areas as well. So great leaders, I'd like to say great leaders create and develop great leaders.
I hear you. Yeah, absolutely right. Because I mean, look, that says follow. You know, you follow what you know. You follow people who present or basically where you've learned, how you've learned. You follow those that you learn from. And so yeah. So let me ask you a question. What have been in your time doing this? What's been some of the common challenges that leaders face?
Well, definitely burnout and stress. Um, Leaders definitely experience that. One, because of so many responsibilities, whether they are the career, the business, at home, and not taking out that time for themselves to do the self-care, or to be able to manage their time between what they're doing at home and work. So burnout and stress is definitely one of those common problems. And just like I had mentioned, you need to have vision and be clear. Well, the lack of clear vision and direction can be another problem that leaders experience. And when that happens, then that becomes, a struggle with the whole team, basically. So you can have those things cause confusion amongst team members when the vision is not clear on what should be taking place. And because we do so much with our teams, and just even thinking about the fact of how, I know some things may change soon, but, doing teams and work virtually versus in person, there are a lot of different dynamics in that as well. So if you're lacking that vision and direction for your team as a leader, then it's also going to impact the workload and the end results of what that goal is. And the last thing I'll mention about that would be, even with the teams, we're talking about those relationships, not having the ability to manage the relationships that are needed for the teams. As a leader, you have to be able to help manage those the teams and your relationships with them, and not just with the team, because in some sense, and depending on what you're doing, sometimes you may have partners. You have to be able to communicate what you need from the team, the partners, and everybody that's involved. So I think it's important, because if we don't have good communication as leaders, then everybody really struggles, to be honest.
Let me ask you a question. In regards to teams and leaders, we're talking about relationships in essence, relationships, and these relationships they go beyond our professional into our personal. Am I correct?
Some do, yes, they do.
Yeah. So are you more on the professional side or on both of these sides of this relationships or this types of team or leadership? Are you more into the private or in the professional space or the personal space?
Just now, I was referring more to the professional space.
Okay.
I was,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. It's interesting. Do you see that to be challenging, because you said faith-based people, and so what type of organizations are you working with?
Well, okay, so when I'm talking about the leader, so it doesn't matter what type of business a leader is actually, whether it's for profit, nonprofit, doesn't really matter, because it's really about their character and how you're going to operate as a leader.
That is so interesting, because my next question is, how do you guide an individual to align their goals with their deep purpose or the deeper purpose? Because this is interesting, because in my thing, it's really allowing people to understand purpose is the driving force for your character, for everything, for your self-awareness, for everything that you're going to do is driven by purpose. So how do you get your clients to align them their individual goals with the deeper purpose?
Well, most times, people do have goals. Some goals are the goals that people are striving to work towards, and then other goals are put in place to help get through current situations. So basically, one depends on what the status is or where the person is in that moment, and if say like if somebody's having a hard time in a particular situation, we identify what that situation is. We identify, and then we identify where it is that they want to be, and then we go back and we come up with that strategy on how we're going to how they're going to get there. So basically, that's how we get in alignment with what it is that's needed to help make sure that they are successful in meeting their goals.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you basically a case by case situation. You let them come to you with their circumstances, their challenge, and then you help them align that with their purpose and their desired outcome.
Yes, and actually, even now, I have a group that I'm working with, and with them, it's really very similar because although everybody's situation is different and everybody's dealing with different things, they still, when we talked about goals, everybody still, they still had to deal with why they procrastinate, why they haven't gotten it done, what type of time management, what schedules need, still a lot of same thing that everybody was experiencing. The goals were different, but the experiences were still the same.
And again, there's a great word that I like to use, and that's commitment. If you're putting in and prioritize your commitments, you really typically have to sacrifice some other things to reach your desired commitments or goals. So yeah, that's that overwhelming supporting a person to know that I got to give a little bit to get a little bit.
Yes, and what else I have found too, on is that people are realizing that they need accountability.
And again, do you have accountability partners in your program?
I do.
Yeah, yes. That right there is probably the biggest sign that I think a lot of us need that, in the sense that, because it's always good to know that somebody's there, and it's interesting you call them accountability partners. It's just, how about peer support, peer support, and so that's great. So let's change a little bit. Let's go to your nonprofit, your Life Changing Community Development Corporation. Tell us about that and focus on the understanding of the community, the value it has, the focuses on the community.
Well, Life Changing Community Development Corporation is also known as LCCDC. That's the baby one. That is the God-given assignment. And basically, over 30 years ago, really, just started working with the youth in Southeast DC. One is where we started.
Okay.
Boys and Girls Club number 11. Shout out to Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, but now let's be clear. You are now in North Carolina.
I am now in North Carolina, but I do the work North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, DC right now.
That's right. You did say that you had that thing. And so actually you were, when we spoke last time, were you up here? And were you moving down there?
No, I was already here, but yeah. But I'm back and forth so much.
But you'd been up here for years, and now you'd gone down there. I think you got you down there. And okay, all right, I'm with you now. I'm back. It's all coming back to me now. So go ahead, share your child with us.
Yeah. So initially, we really started out with the youth in low income communities, and that's where we started with our initial programs. We were supporting the youth, having the programs there, and after a few years, and the first program was really a cheerleading program for the Boys and Girls Club. So we had a cheerleading program for them because they didn't have anybody to support that effort at the Boys and Girls Club. And then we also started a litter control program. So we were going into the community, and the purpose of doing these litter control programs was to help really to get the drug dealers out of the neighborhood. So I was very fortunate at the time. I was working for the Environmental Protection Agency, and I had a mentor who was guiding me along the way to understand how, because my first meeting I went to one, and if you can imagine, I went to one of those to one of the meetings, to the civil meetings that they have, the civic leaders
Civic
meeting.
Association, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, when I got through, they was like, well, what does picking up trash have to do with taking care of this community? You know, so that was how they came at me. And I told them, I said, well, guess what? I will let you know. So I went and talked to my mentor, and when I came back, we connected how keeping your community clean. Basically, for one thing, you know, the drug dealers, they didn't want eyes on them anyhow. So if they were going to put more eyes into their own neighborhoods, be willing to come and clean up their neighborhoods, then, and it did, it drove them out. And when they saw that, then they understood, and then it brought pride to their communities. You know, so it was very exciting. And remember, I was just being led and guided. I really, you know, I just wanted to help.
I can't imagine. I mean, you know, but that's a real interesting response that you got. How is picking up trash going to help this issue of drug violence in your neighborhood?
Yes.
It's amazing how it doesn't take much to make a difference. It doesn't take much to make a difference, but the impact of living in a clean and a neat area speaks to the people that are there.
Yes.
And when you care about your community, it speaks about the people who care about themselves, who live in the community.
Exactly.
I mean, it reminded me, when you said that, it reminded me of my growing up. I grew up in Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay.
And we lived in a community, was primarily Black, and it was literally on the other side of the tracks, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that we took pride in what was ours.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting because our parents they established a parents club. It was like a community parents club, and it was like, okay, we have to do this.
Right.
And it made a difference because, I mean, we didn't know what we didn't know at the time. It was what you would call all Black ghetto.
Right.
But you wouldn't have been able to tell us that what we didn't have pride in what we owned and what we had. And so that made a tremendous difference in just something. It's amazing. It doesn't take much.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't take much to make a difference. All you have to have is a passion and a belief that, you know, you can make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. And so let me ask you a question. Involved with that is your youth program and teaching support in teacher support initiative. Is that a part of that also?
Yes. So fast forwarding up, because like we had talked about, it definitely has been a journey. So we started with mostly youth programs, and just within the last couple of years, actually post-COVID, we've added some new programs. One of them is called Happy, HAPPI. Is helping and providing positive impact for teachers and educators. So the goal with that program is to support our teachers and to help them to be reminded of why they do the job that they do, to support them and help them to identify with the self-care type of things that they need for themselves. And what we've done, we have provided backpacks for our teachers. giving them things that can help them while they're in the classroom. It might just be something to give them to look at on their desk, that when they need to take a moment away from whatever's going on in that classroom, that it will be a distraction, a good distraction for them in that moment. And just showing love. We've been working with teachers in Virginia. We had gone out to Florida, spoke to our teachers there, and really teachers and the administrators say, well, we know y'all here for the teachers, but what about us? So right now, God has us focusing on the teachers, and we're going to continue to focus on the teachers. And when we have like a conference or retreat, that's when we're opening it up to our educators, other educators as well. But the ultimate goal is to be able to be an advocate for our teachers, because we know that teachers, some of the problems and challenges that they have, they're not able to have a voice for themselves. So we're going to help be that voice as we continue to grow that program.
Hey, that is awesome, because you know what? You reach a teacher, you reach a whole classroom. You reach a whole classroom. And that's amazing. Oh boy, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Now, here's another part. Is this affordable housing cornerstone for your nonprofit mission? How is that working, this affordable housing? Who and how is this a part of your program?
Yes, so we have a partners. Our partner is I Rock My Scars. So LCCDC and I Rock My Scars, we apply for grant funding to help with the affordable housing projects. So pretty much we apply for grant funding. We get the property, and we renovate. The current program that we have is with the Virginia Department of Housing and Community Development. So once we get the home ready for a new homeowner, actually our part of the program is the first time homeowner. So we help them to purchase their new home. And that's the part that LCCDC really does. We do the referrals for the first time homeowner. And we have learned over the last couple of years that we have to help educate our people about the process of becoming a new homeowner.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's, again, one of the pillars that we talk about, financial stewardship and being able to understand the value of what's important. How you don't know the value of being able to own a home, but only if you're able to handle it, if you can handle it. So that's essential. That's great. That is great. You're a multi-tiered organization, sort of like myself. It was like, how do you put an umbrella over top of all of this stuff that and so what we've done is we really determined it as a love mindset, because again, my book, Love Made Simple, it's all about the love mindset that allows you to take it into every area of your life. And so you're really meant to be able to thrive in all areas of your life with that. What advice would you give someone to maintain motivation to stay on track for if you are a professional, or not a professional, but a person who's striving to do better in their life? What are some of the things that you can give advice?
Well, for anybody who is striving to do better in life, I would definitely say, first of all, to make sure that you're doing it for yourself. Because a lot of times we find ourselves, people have high standards and expectations for us a lot of times, and we fall into it very easily. So to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing and want to do, in order for you to really be able to stay motivated about it, it has to be something that's really for you, about you. And I would encourage people to do that. I encourage people to also make sure that they surround themselves with people of like mind, or people who are supportive of the goals. So, if you have people who, and if you have people in your immediate circle who are not supportive of your goals, do not talk to them about your goals. Just keep that conversation out of.
Unfortunately, that's exactly right. Exactly right. It's not to say that you're not, but they're not going to support it. And the support is, they're going to bring doubt.
Exactly.
They're going to bring doubt.
Exactly.
And you're not, doubt is the killer for anything that is very infant stages. when it's in its infant stages, you don't need additional doubt.
No, it's
So
going to
yeah.
come enough.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean you got enough of that running through in your own
Right.
head. You don't need anybody else to present no more to you.
Exactly.
So if they can't be encouraging and supportive, don't share it with them.
Yeah. And the other thing I like to share is to start small and take one step at a time. I think a lot of times, Mom, people, even when we think about our goals, we want to make sure that we're going to be successful and make sure that we reach that goal. But we also need to have the understanding because of, the fear of failure syndrome. But it doesn't have to be thought of that way, and that's where mindset change and those type of things come in place. Because even if you do quote unquote fail, that failure is an opportunity for growth, for real. And that's how we need to think about it. It's always an opportunity for growth. So there is no such thing as failure, to be honest. And we all have to do a reset at some point. It's a part of the journey, for real.
Hey, that again, look, how does the thing says a setback is a setup for a comeback?
That's right.
I mean that's a very a way that you can really put it into play, that you need those challenges.
Yes.
Because what is the thing is, it says creation or invention is the creation of, how does the saying go? The need for something is the creator of invention. And so when you recognize the need, focus on the need, and you will find the way to meet the need.
Yes.
Because that's what this thing, this journey is about, is putting a need or a object or a service to a need. And if you recognize the need, develop that which solves that need.
Yes.
And you do that over and over again. Yeah, you're going to have some setbacks, because you're not going to, if it was easy, they they've already done it.
That's right. That's right, Juan. And I have had several times, because I think big, and if it comes to my mind and heart, then I believe it's possible. That's for sure. And I've had plenty of people to be like, but maybe you need to not do A, B, and C, and I'm like, no, that's how you operate. That's not how I operate. God gifted me to be able to multitask. I'm multitasking. Big, Juan.
It's really, I mean, I put myself in this situation of like, I have to see something before I can do something, in the sense that up here. So it's how I see it is how I'm trying to duplicate it. It's not as though you can tell that don't work like that. That's the way I see it work.
Right.
So we got to make it work the way I see it. And that's something that I had to learn, because in many cases people like, but that ain't how that works. Well, then you ain't the way to help me. You ain't the one that's gonna help me do this.
Right.
Because the one thing that you really need to understand, or I've had to learn, is that you don't teach vision. You got to catch it.
I learned that lesson so much with the nonprofit. I can't tell you the lessons I learned as a leader with the nonprofit, because as you know, like our organization is all volunteer. So some of those challenges, I was like, wow, you're not getting paid. Why are we going through this? Because you don't have to like really be here, right? But I had to learn how to because even when we talk about the leadership, I am the doer. So I had to learn what it meant to become the leader, because very easily I would say, don't worry about it. I got it. I'll take care of it, and that can be a downfall as a leader as well.
Tasking on you too, because it's one of the qualities of that leader is being able to delegate, how to delegate, being able to give them ability to be able to provide their gift and talent, and that fits in line with the vision of the organization. So yeah, I agree. Hey, look, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, because it's when you need what you need, but you don't see the vision, boy, that's a hard nut to crack there.
Yeah, and the thing is, because people, especially in the nonprofit world, people have many different reasons about why they are a part of. So I've had to even say, because I had to get to the point where, so a meeting should not take place if I'm not available, right? So, but when everybody comes, they have their different reasons. Some coming because they want to support me, they like me. And I used to say, no, don't just do this because you like me. Do this because you are in alignment with the mission and the vision of the organization. But that's just not why everybody comes, Juan. And I had to learn that and be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. And that's a real leadership trait, to be okay with that. Because that not only says that you have to be okay with it, but you've got to operate in that space and knowing that, and still navigate what's going on and how it's going to happen. Let me just ask you one other question. What does legacy mean to you?
Oh, so for me, true legacy has absolutely nothing to do with accolades and wealth, Juan. For me, it's all about the love. It's all about wisdom. It's all about the guidance and, and what we pass on to others from that perspective, for real. And being able to, because it's all about serving others, serving our communities, whatever the case may be, but being able to lead others into a brighter future for us all. That's what legacy looks like to me.
Well, I would say that it's what legacy is intended to be. To be honest with you, if you look at the big picture, legacy, the value of money and exchange of money, it changes every week, every month, every year. Yes. But that information, that wisdom, that knowledge, that investment into the next generation is where we really begin to see value into humanity, because this thing is bigger than you and I.
Yes.
And so the legacy is providing the direction and guidance to the next generation to be able to protect and preserve it for the next generation and for the generations to come.
Yes.
And that ain't money. That ain't money. That ain't money. That's not money. But I'm in full agreement with you.
Yeah, and as we get a little older, when I'm talking to my grandchildren, Juan, I think about it all the time. I'm like, what can I instill in them and how can I empower them at this early age? Because, I'm not going to be here forever. And and for me, it's important to know that I have instilled the things within, especially my grandchildren now. I did my children growing up with what I knew at that time. Mm-hmm. So what they say, better, do better. So now that I know better, I'm trying to do better in what I instill in my grandchildren as well.
And that's exactly when you know the value that we hold in this space and time. We're the bridge from the past to the future.
Yes.
And yet we carry such a tremendous ability to influence the future by how we invest into the present. And so what you said is the message of Clear Journey, is to be able to understand that love mindset is what protects the next generation.
Yes.
So hey, that is exactly I love that legacy answer from you. So do you have anything that we can that you'd like to share with the audience as it relates to what you're doing and things and how they can reach you?
Sure, I surely do. So they can reach me, Juan, by my email, contact@YvonneLorraine.org. Yes, sir. That is
there
me.
You go.
They can reach me. I'm actually working on finalizing my ebook. Excited about that. Yep, it's Unstoppable: How Faith and Focus Can Help You Thrive in Life, Leadership, and Legacy. And this is really an interactive ebook one. So like after every chapter, um, they have some tools. They have a space to reflect, and then a space for action to take the next step. So I'm really excited about that.
That sounds great.
And then I'm also, God has been really good because this was my plan for 2025 initially, not so soon.
Now look, you rolling them out. I say, hey, you rolling them out.
Yeah, but it's just time now. So I also have my book Whispers of the Silent Storms, a woman's GPS to unlocking purpose and power. Really excited about that. And this one is a little more, I'm gonna say, a little more emotionally attached to me, one, because thinking about going through this book and writing, and doing the writing, thinking about some of the things that I have gone through, or to really understand just how much women have put so much to the side, and don't talk about it, and being able to pull some of that out is what I'm looking forward to being able to do, because those are some of the things that are blocking us as women and hinder us as we continue. We great, but we're great with some silent storms.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, again, these are all things that you can reach, or you can get these things or get and find out more about them by going and contacting her right there at her website or on her email address. That's her email address.
Yes.
To contact her. And if you want to know more about those things, and where and how to get them, by all means, just email her. And if
Yes.
we will have additional information also in the show notes that you can have to be able to go get that information also. I tell you, Yvonne, this has been great, to see how you and I are doing something that we really have to stay in touch, because I need to pick your brain and get some of that wisdom that you have as it relates to nonprofit, because I tell you, being able to navigate this space is not easy, but it's the love, it's the desire to help, to make a difference.
Yes.
But there's a way to do it, that we have to be conscious of, in the process of doing it, and keeping it in an excellent manner, so that it doesn't take away from what we're doing,
Yes.
by not doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, is there anything else you'd like to share before you go?
Well, I look forward to us staying in touch, and far as your listeners, also when they contact me, they can find out more about my coaching program, my executive leadership trainings, the retreats. So it's plenty going on this year, and I'm excited about it. So I just thank you for the opportunity, Juan, being able to come and share.
Hey, look, I hope that we can do some more together, some type of collaborative things. This sounds like good, because it seems like a good marriage of how we can get the mindset and leadership together and share with this.
Yes,
So
let's
let's
do it.
stay in touch. Let's stay in touch. But okay, I appreciate you. Thanks a lot. And let me close out the show, and I'll get back with you. Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Well, all right, everybody. That was our guest for today. Now we can take her information down. But if you ever have a problem with reaching any of our guests, you can always contact us at Clear Journey. You can get more information about us at Clear Journey, or if you want to get in touch with me, you can go to info@clearjourney.org and find me. Just put in the subject, it's life, and just send me a message, and I will happily reach back out to you. If it's anything we can do, connect you with any of our guests, if you've heard them on here, or if it's anything else we can do to help in assisting you in your journey, we want to do it. So by all means, again, go over to our Clear Journey, our email or our website, and learn more about Clear Journey. And I think I've done everything I need to do today. When you're running solo, you're just figuring it out as you go. So I appreciate you all for being with us tonight. And as usual, and ending all of our shows, look, we can't change life, but we can help you navigate it. And until next time, we'll see you then.